Let's get it started.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back? You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time. Time for retribution!
Absorption test. Animal test 6308. Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. No, my...
Yay.
Charlotte,
Hold up.
I know who can beat.
What? You watched the last episode?
Yeah, I was laughing
Well, I still didn't. So don't tell. Wait, wait. Unless it's the person that I say who killed him. Ting brother. Yeah, it wasn't he brother. It is.
Enhanced animal module 75. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Verdict is
I remember I got spun on TikTok and them was asking. The person was confused who killing us.
Rain outlines your fate. Huh?
Alright.
Venture.
Okay, well, I'll watch it and see it. That's bad. You know what's the baddest for me? It was episode 4. When I had killed
Rain
um
outlines your
the
fate.
man and them who was controlling the business. Yeah. Them kill them bad enough. Yeah, them kill them bad.
Animal test 6308.
I thought somebody was on died in. I really didn't thought them would have pull off that. That's
retribution.
like the shitting woman.
Body and mind.
She was spoiling it.
Absorption test. Let's light it up.
Yeah.
Swirl, Mark 2.
Main characters? Main characters? Huh? They really wanted to end that show.
Let's light it up.
Uh,
No, my soul.
of course. Well, you did say the bodyguards was gonna die.
Rain cutter. Teamwork is dream.
Retribution.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dealer girl that had get bounced down in episode 4. Oh. I feel I'll watch episode 5 later. Mm-hmm.
here several times with my father when I was little. Oh, don't worry. We haven't Hinata Hakuna in that case. Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life. Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time. And if it's not? Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table. Yeah. Sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all. Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened? Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after. If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that. Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before. Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it. In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve. Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are. It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans? That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway. I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting. Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Yo.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the place climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep. That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested. Valid point. I overlooked that part.
Kind of thing I
I was
hear
just thinking
anyway.
about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Genshin with some sickles.
Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you
don't know, cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal?
Huh? Paimon,
What? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
no, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. That would be so normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Next part of the quest.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one. Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Oof. That's kinda spooky. Hey.
I should talking.
Still walking towards it. There might... Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Oh no.
Bashay, are dear Vacher. No, wait. You seem to be someone else. You know Vacher. You know where my love is. Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide. What have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land? Yes, that is what I was once. I do not know how I came to be like this. No matter where I went, but now... No! The thought of me, if you meet Vacher, perhaps that is... If only I could have comforted him. Is that what you call it? It was a state. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first... I think I hear your companion. Farewell then.
Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Gardamex? Shit, man.
Chlorand?
God. But I read on.
Quick, now's our chance!
Well, I need this shit going on here. Some real anime thing going on here.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed
I believe that following
Mr. Callus's last wish.
Do not!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and
I will continue. Regardless. Right. I suppose that's the best.
Demoiselle, I believe that...
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! I thought we were those Gardamex. Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Chlorand who came...
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had as such.
It will take...
If it were me...
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all
But
thanks
I
to
hate
you
Paimon
grabbing my
more.
drink by mistake.
How did that?
After we parted, that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted
Genshin or
salty?
Fanta?
The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had...
Genshin or Fanta.
Spina di Rosula.
Huh? Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Board. That's when I figured out that you might...
What? Why would they go after us too?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of. Speaking of which...
Well, it can't be a coincidence. Oh, and this time Paimon... Does that mean...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing.
New intel?
Well, let's see... Oh. Vache, since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or... Yes, thank you. Oh, you...
Well, you did. And besides, we're in this now with...
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite...
You talk too much. Well, and we also have some plans.
Don't worry, you two.
Is what? Reach? I already reached this to what? I'm getting out there.
It's right up ahead. But let's make sure we weren't followed.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted...
Very good.
I shall find room.
Thank you, Malus. Now.
Why little boy and little Gildy on their TV sets? Oh, here's a whole area. There's a whole city, yes. premos of this? Nope. Okay, no premos. That sucks.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me...
No. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same 3 years ago.
Oh no.
But I do not believe... At the time, but strangely, that even after being serious... 3 years... How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so
That's right. I've also tried to However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those, I must know what really happened. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact, and now, here I am.
Demoiselle.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait! If Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that. People love watching the evil.
But how could...
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh! Her? Yeah. That's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice.
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start... Yes, that is our
Oh, Papa. What madness... All right. Anyway, that's the information I... Thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep.
Paimon slept, huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of...
Paimon gets... but...
No, I just returned after going out for a while.
Wait!
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been... I suspect that those behind...
Does that...
No. There is one ray of hope, and that is the archives kept by Chief... If the Oceanid you met is one of the...
So Nervalette maintains an arc? In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the...
Bro,
Please
this
state your
question is
business
too
here.
long.
The Chief
Nah,
Justice is presently occupied with
boring.
official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty
Sure,
heavy.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
close this up
Huh?
when it reaches something.
Who
else.
are you? Just to be clear, I don't care
Got
who you
Zhongli
are or
first
who
pull
you
today?
might be
That's
related
crazy.
to. Our rules make no exceptions.
How many wishes you make to get
See?
him?
They've got great...
Yep, yep. I'm in contempt. If you're here just to crack...
no. What I meant to say...
Oh, yes.
We're here today to report...
Huh. Is that it?
Of course. Don't worry.
How many
All right,
wishes
then,
you
I'll
made?
let you through. The Chief.
Thanks so much.
Like, 7, like 7? Since your last 5-star? Yeah. Zhongli. Would it show if I click history? It doesn't. I'm trying to get her, I got him. He's right here. Is he? Right here.
Please come in.
Sorry
Yeah, I
about
got
General
him. I got him
Sir
yesterday.
Neverland. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse.
Vache.
Who knew
I
that
need
Neverland would be so
primotes.
easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain there are no records of him either in the file.
Traveler?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me?
Monsieur
Extend your...
Neuvillette.
No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. After my father took his place, you even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to
Standard
those
banner
cold
or
laws you
Zhongli
hold so
banner?
dear. If
Zhongli
you
banner.
truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the
Zhongli.
duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eye.
I'm sorry.
You and my father, it's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy
God
of the
love
Chief
you.
Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Blue, God loves you.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
The dragon crying.
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that. But didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. All right, let's go to Poisson with this new...
Yeah, we're gonna make...
Do you want to go with me now? Great.
For this quest, so much talking. So much talking. How much more wishes I need? 17? Actually, I wonder if I can do an achievement real quick. Uh, 5, sucks. Anyways, need help question? Right now I'm doing quests. Probably. Need help in what?
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di
Like
Rosula's
domains,
headquarters.
boss, quest?
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
Primos. Ooh, yes, I need primos.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon
Always
has seen
need
this ship,
primos.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. We're back!
Apologies for the... You said before that you still...
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something real. You still remember, right, Balus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. But...
Could you tell us a...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, at a glance, it...
Wait!
Yes, he did. If you drink sin, and if you were to stop, as he oversaw with...
Boss's uncompromising at... Not only that...
Yes, recognizing that. The man's name was that night, but then...
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe... Precisely. It's all but, considering it now, you're right.
Jacques was an empath... I think this... On that note, however... Even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as you're and our opponent, even though Spina... There is no need...
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful. Did he think I've never accepted that. I want to find...
Navia.
This is indeed...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, but what drove...
What?
And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was knowing all of this. He decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the Unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
Bro.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding.
That sounds like
If
all
Boss is...
anime.
I'm sure he...
No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where... Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Huh. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea but a single visit to their headquarters will be tantamount to a fort. The worst case would be that we leave.
Then, in that case, what?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case.
Huh. That's true. But things are different now.
You sound like you put a lot of thought in...
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for...
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to the first.
Huh?
Yes, surprise. Thanks to his position within... There's someone else like him, too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. In the beginning, they were...
So, they're like...
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of... It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course.
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving after that, if it might help.
Aw, thank you so much.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to...
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mura and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to it, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florence should be nearby.
I don't think I can do this with anyone.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the...
Yeah, I've heard.
It also... After my partner, can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened?
After that, my first reaction. But when I got there...
So you also remember...
Indeed. Reason being... But according to the... About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there...
At least from our perspective. My father, the gun he was holding?
Yeah, that makes... But hold on. He didn't even want to face... Did he lose all faith in the courts? After seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that. Malus, I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, And if I may just say one more thing. The whole... Many people have left, but it was Mr. Cal. No matter what others might...
Don't worry. You and all our other
This shit.
Going on as well.
No, just doing this shit in the quest.
You still doing our conquest?
Yeah. I didn't finish it. I didn't do the second part yesterday. When you had come up, I had come up.
Hey, Thierry, it's...
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia?
Oh.
Oh.
Are you sure there isn't a...
I mean, Callus to defend, it would be next to him. Anyway.
Ah, yes. These... What happened at the Opera House?
Ah, I get... If you want to go...
That'd be much...
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, so... if you...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to make removing a cereal, so I can promise you, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
This shit too boring, I don't know what this shit.
Yes, by now. When swing parliaments like a harbor. Suck man should pussy all in our stomach. Six times should pussy all in our stomach.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Manage channel 163.5.
Even if an antique is priceless, the happiness it brings lasts for only the moment that you obtain it.
We'll see noise and just step up tonight.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance...
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought, but rest assured, if anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet. So I was out and about the whole time, making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a...
Oh, it's okay.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Six more days, yeah. Fuck doing those two stations, man. So long we get back a phone and no one talks me for my man. How to be an ass. Yeah.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Anyway.
But where should we start?
According to Jacques...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Oh, that's a good point.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective? Makes sense. Besides Jacques, it's obvious.
Do you think he knew?
Given everything that's happened, but who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Florent? But...
so you're saying...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would... Thierry was... But...
Yeah. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find.
Uncle Marcel, and with funds, still really... Also... Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing?
The suspect is... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and spec...
Yes. We need far more...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been...
Huh?
Yeah.
Wasn't that place...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called
What? Is that...
Yeah!
Well...
Wait,
that's what I thought was if the charge again...
Right.
Yeah.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is... You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be...
We'll help you!
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver.
We heard. It's our hope.
See you then!
But this shit are shit you back closing up us. This quest is so boring.
Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get
She'll
going.
probably die doing this shit.
The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
What achievement I could do real quick to get a little pre-modes. See what I'm doing here.
Don't make you decide to rise up the key.
What the shit? What challenge is this? The
Back and check out, of course. I'm back in Chicago. Up the first class. I know you're trying to
oh, that's a shit into mission. Wow.
I got a pretty penny. I feel too security. I rock about everything, my girl. I don't know, it's not enough. I'm gonna touch it, girl. But it's too good. That's good. I'm downtown now. 40 2 shots to the gut, hit the shit out, stop and bust. I don't want to shut them up.
What is this? Let's see.
It's got me sweating, but the reading going crazy. Looking at the devil on me. I'm showing you right back.
I'm sure the Kamisano clan is...
We can do this! My experiment will succeed. I can't wait any longer! Something's come up?
Too hot, but that's why I go wrong. Alright, how about you? That's my style. Sky love peace, sky love me. I laugh in the air, I sip my piscine. Smoke with me, love with me. Store, come and shop with me. You don't drop it with me. I don't even wanna think about it right now. Let's get too right. Get the s'mores and the pills at the same time. And then have a little toast and shoot around.
Let's go.
Gotta get on these fucking facts. Gotta get on best and go
Stand clear! Let's dance! Boba, get them! Absorption test! Speed of light! Incoming! Nice and spicy! Animo test 6308!
Alright, let's see if I can do this.
Ready, steady, go! Enhanced animal module. After fried pip, with sword comes shadow.
Me too, yeah.
You should that in it.
That's all I do, man. She's not there. She's not there. She's scared.
Them should bring out that soon.
Guess we can rest a bit.
You're just kissing a monkey, boy.
What is that?
You told you boy, you kissing a fucking monkey, boy.
Do not trust them. You think kids should look up to you? Yeah. What can they learn from Beetlejuice? Well, they can learn a lot of things from me. You know, let's sit around, let's drink, you know. That's all. The food tastes good, you know. But I don't know why I don't want to eat no more. Something wrong.
Is that all you've got?
That's a bad episode though.
Breaking my heart. Breaking my heart. Oh God! Shakers the real MVP, you know.
Yeah, I mean better.
Shakers for the believer quotes and thing that's go very heaven.
Yeah, Shakers is really guy. Everyone there has about what for that.
Absorption test. Animal test 6308. Let the show begin.
I'm on the shit.
Gooba, get speed of light. Good.
So Spotify, fed up tell me how to do this shit here. H-E-A-R-D. Nice. Done. Somewhere.
But this is a shitty achievement. Why am I not getting it?
Nice and spicy. Absorption test. I'll protect us. Don't blink.
Shots in my brain.
I'll probably get this one.
I wanna fucking end it.
Animal Animal test 6308. Stand clear. Let's dance.
Fucking sick. I've been feeling things.
What question is this?
Race you!
It's just a cool. Skip. Oh, no.
Animal test 6308. Stand. Race you!
I keep a rocket in my pocket, so I should call it pocket rocket. Oh, skip it. Shit. Change.
Swirl, Mark 2. Nowhere to hide.
You don't listen to Cali Gale here. We don't have no Cali Gale.
Cali.
Shut up.
Cali.
You don't have that, boy.
Cali.
You insolent fool.
Hollywood, Valentine's in Cali world.
You're fool, yes. Wow. That's where let me call. She already knows. I've been drinking and trying to suburban. Because we gonna die with. We are I don't have no friends, goddamn, I'm alone until the end, goddamn, I'm dying again, goddamn. I don't got no friends, goddamn, I'm alone until the end, goddamn.
Hey, that man have no friends, eh?
No fucking friends.
Every one day, you'll get some.
I don't want no friends.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I just used to. It's not what I'm used to. I'll never be used to. Let's go, let me go. Doesn't invest no.
Appreciate
She
that.
already know. Time for me to let go. Driving a suburban.
Let me go in some run, open a chest, wish and close this game.
I don't have no friends.
Where's the plans?
Advertisement.
Hey, that man's skipping.
Listen to how we can, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a bad one.
I'm listening to the weekend.
Whole albums.
Oh wait, and I realized I could go look at them.
Is it?
Yeah, no.
What?
Nothing.
Fuck what I'm gonna do.
I was talking to myself
You
about
just
something
like
in my game. Go unlock this door. Make a little one wish and then close up. Zhongli, hey, Zhongli. If I don't get Zhongli in the next wish, that means Zhongli gay.
Alone tonight. Baby girl, I left you on a lonely night. Let me see on the time. If I let you down, then I apologize. Baby, say I don't hear the solution. Oh, wow. Blue, never gonna butter dust.
Blue, God love you. Blue, God love
Oh, that man getting no well chicken there. I don't go for each other. Alone tonight. Baby girl, I love you all alone.
you. Blue. How much watches on right now?